O-line, we have at left tackle, we have, oh, sorry, we have, at left tackle, we have Hayden Frazier. At center, we have,
They come up the line of scrimmage. First down and 15. Lundberg goes back, looking to go down the middle of the field. Right there one more time. And who else would you go to but JT Weir, who leads this team in touchdown receptions. JT is the guy, and again, he's another one that you could talk about. When you might say it's a two-prong attack with wide receivers, JT is the gunner you go to.
And we'll set that defense in just a moment.
First down and 10, right at the 48-yard line. Lunsberg brings him back up the line of scrimmage, looks things over. Lunsberg, quarterback option, going deep, down the middle, incomplete pass, trying to take that to Luke Indorf, and Indorf could not catch it.
And good coverage that time by Brock Wattenberger on that near side, covering Indorf, who's been that sneaky guy on the outside for the Hornets that really, he's got 3 touchdowns this season. Maybe 4, but I'll give him 3 right now. You got him at 5?
I got him at 5.
Then you got him at 5. Unofficially, I had 3.
Okay. Second down and 10. A run option is what we saw there. Interesting with Lunsberg at quarterback. Straight dive play up the middle. There is a hole big enough for all 3 of us to run through. And Corey Nalen, you said Fred Hunter was back. I asked you before this game started, where is our running attack? They come back quickly to line of scrimmage. First down and 10. Lunsberg goes back, has lots of time. Goes deep quarter. Did he get his feet in? Touchdown, Fullerton College. Corey said no, but the official said yeah. And they moved down quickly for 60 yards to get on the board.
and that was a good throw.
And yeah, that was a touchdown, Mark. He did get that 1 foot. He did get that 1 foot and drag. Beautiful play, beautiful setup, set up by the run. You remember, Fred Hunter was averaging 94 yards per game before 3 games ago. He went down to 70, round up. Went down to 70 yards, which still led the team and still one of the tops in the SCFA.
So they spot the ball, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 12:26 to go in the first quarter, well, the Hornets, they said, hey, we want to avenge the worst loss we ever had to Bakersfield. Bakersfield beat them 50-0 in 1961.
See, there you go. You said avenge like it was the last game they played. That's not avenging the last game 50-0. They played 15 more times.
Well, hey, if you're as old as I am, that's avenging because I was at that game in 1961 in spirit, not in body. Heard the producer from Hornet Radio.
So, Peyton, now on the offensive side for Bakersfield, what are we going to need to see from them?
I think we're going to have to see how we got to see them attack because we've seen them in the past games before. In the first half, they don't really produce well, but in the second half, they seem to know what they're doing. So they need to do that here right now.
So we get ready for another kickoff with 12:26 to go. And like we said, one of the undefeated teams in this conference, the Hornets, need to continue that victory march to get in the playoff conversation. Taken by Nettles. Nettles comes up the middle to the outside, needs to spin away, gets down across the 35. What a nice return by Jadaniel Nettles, Corey. He brings it up, gets a good return for that.
Yeah, they needed this field position to feel confident about their offensive set on their second possession, brought down by Nicholas Sandoval, the kicker, who brings him down. He played linebacker as well in high school. So rounding out that defense, we've got Xander Chisholm, one safety. He's wearing number 5 in gray. Nehemiah Norwood, the near side corner. E.J. Robinson, who has 3 picks this season on the far side. We'll get the safety in just a moment. Sorry, Mark.
That's okay. Bakersfield comes up. Jernigan, they go to one way. Ball is dropped, incomplete pass. So Ian Jernigan now in at running back for Bakersfield.
And I believe that's Amir Garrison, who is the number 18 for the Hornets, rounding out that safety and that defense.
Second down and 10. No offensive thrust yet by the Renegades. Carson Wood still in at quarterback. Jernigan at running back. Handed off to Jernigan. Jernigan comes off a right tackle, keeps churning those legs, and gets close to a first down.
That was a good run there by Ian Jernigan. He was able to bulldoze his way through. And he's also one of the he also is one of the top rushing leaders for this Renegades team.
So Jernigan moves the chains on a nice run. Going out is Shanks to the far side of the field. But works the first time, try it the second time. Try to take it around the corner. This time, it's Jason Grant that gets stops on the attack. So Grant comes in to carry the ball.
That's going to be the key for the Renegades here. They're going to have to try to tire out this strong Fullerton defense. Because you look at Fullerton's been able to stop almost everyone on defense, and what they need to do is just put the pressure on them.
Dylan Johnson goes out to the far side once again. Johnson comes in motion from left to right. Straight dive play, off tackle, drop ahead, gain of about 4 on the play. Straight power football by the Renegades, going to bring up a workable third down.
And Mark, that workable third down is going to be behind that big offensive front as Oliver Mamiya, Jimmy Walls, Tyler Shelton, Chad Troxler, and Andres Alcaraz.
Dylan Johnson goes to the far side of the field. Jernigan back in at running back. Woods at quarterback. Third down and 5. They hand it off to Jernigan off a left tackle, and he gets stood up at the 45 and is going to come up short. Decision time for the Renegades.
No decision, you go for it, right?
Yeah, at this yeah.
See, Peyton agrees.
Third down and 1 at the 45-yard line. Fourth down and 1.
And
I'm trying to give him a little help.
And he was stood up by the SCFA's leading tackler, Ethan Charpentier.
Jernigan still at running back. Dylan Johnson near side of the field. Go over here, throws it there. Tight end gets separated. That's not a fumble. That's an Are they going to call that a fumble?
Either way, Mark, it is for first down for the Hornets because Nehemiah Norwood comes up and lays the wood
to Dylan Fowler. Dylan Fowler turned corner. I didn't think he took a football step on that.
Oh, doesn't matter. It's turnover on downs.
Okay.
That was a good play. He was able to put all his body weight into that. And what's funny, too, they could have picked it up for a scoop and score if that was a fumble.
So they mark it back at the original line of scrimmage. No fumble on the play. Going out to the far side of the field is Luke Indorf. In the slot next to him is going to be J.T. Weir. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Right at the 46.
And, Mark, you're going to get a lot of people coming back.
Delay of game on the Hornets with 9:45 to go here in the first quarter.
And, Mark, you're getting a lot of people coming out. Fred Hunter came back this week, and now Quentin Isabel. You've been asking for him for a few weeks.
I have.
As in at tailback. We're going to set that defense for Bakersfield.
Okay. Lindsberg goes out, throws it out in the flat, needs a block, sidestep, steps out of bounds right back to the original line of scrimmage.
And Tyler Lewis was the one who pushed him out of bounds. On defense, you will see Tomas Struck, Tomas Struck, as well as Songbei Jinyu, Mario Rivas Jr., Keelan Fanning.
Desmond Duffy to the far side of the field. J.T. Weir to the near side of the field. Desmond goes in motion. Lunsberg goes back, looks for money.
Dangerous pass.
Goes out of bounds, incomplete.
Lewis was on the coverage as well as Drew Underwood on that near side. You've also got Brock Wattenbarger, or Barcher. Didn't ask before. On coverage.
3rd down and 10. JT Weir to the near side of the field. In the slot, outside of him is Indoor. Dive play up the middle. Helmet comes off, going to be short. It'll bring up 4th down at midfield, and the Hornets should punt the ball away.
I thought they were going to pass on that play, but I guess not.
So, 9 minutes to go. And the Hornets couldn't move at that time. Back deep for Bakersfield is going to be Dejon Shanks. See if he can do something with this return last time. Bakersfield looked like they're going to come. So we'll see what happens. Don't really bring pressure. Looking end over end. It's got to take a bounce, and it takes a bounce in favor of the Hornets down right there at the 10 or 9 yard line. So with 8:38 to go, it's the Hornets 7, the Renegades 0 here on Hornet Radio. Don't forget, football right around the corner next week and Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead's been going on now for about 18 years, so we'll see that again on Hornet Radio next week. Ryan Osborne and myself will be out there as Bakersfield comes on out. 1st down and 10 for the Renegades right at the 9 yard line. Woods at quarterback. Little flip over there on the outside. Take the running back coming out of the backfield and get it to Jadaniel Nettles. And Nettles gets a gain of 4 on the play.
And that was Fred Adams who makes the tackle for the Hornets. And that's one of the things that Bakersfield is going to need to do. Get the ball into Daniels and Nettles, or excuse me, Jernigan and Nettles' hands to make some plays.
Nettles stays in the game. He actually is in the slot here on the right side. Handed off to Jernigan. Jernigan goes up the middle. Looks like he gets back to the line of scrimmage on that. It's going to be, they give him about a half a foot. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a very tough 4 yards.
They tried him up the middle again, but they ran into.
Who made the tackle? Josh Grethen underneath, and Oscar Madrigal makes the tackle.
So 3rd down for the Renegades. Watch out for their big tight end. They like to go to Alexander as they stack him here on the near side. Woods goes down, ball gets tipped, incomplete pass. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
It looked like it was by David Johnson. He was able to tip up in the air. Maybe could have picked it off.
Mark Estley II will be deep for the Hornets. He's going to stand right at the 45. So it'll be a 4th down for the Renegades. We'll see if Mark can do something here. No real pressure. Lefty puts it up high. Mark takes a thing, almost drops it, and when he does, tries to reset himself. And Peyton, when he tries to reset himself, he gets pushed backwards.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't have full control of the ball, but that was a good stopper there from the Renegades.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Hornets at the 42-yard line. Coming out at quarterback is Jack Sherholz. So Sherholz now in at quarterback for the Hornets. 1st down and 10 at the 42. Sherholz. We'll see what he does. Lefty flings that out here, trying to make a turn. Miss up the field, and Corey, you've got to love when you're running unabandoned as Quentin Isabel. I love the way this kid runs the football. As I have Texas James on the air with me now. James, I'll tell you what. So we'll see what happens here. It's 2nd down and 1. No huddle offense. Hands it off to Isabel again. Isabel says, I refuse to go down. Let me chug that choo-choo. Isabel. QI just says, hey, you know what? I refuse to go down. 1st down Hornets all the way down to 32. They go back. Going deep. Over in the corner. Trying to get it. It's picked in the end zone. And that's a touchback for the Hornets. So you try to go deep. Sherholz overthrows the receiver, and Bakersfield comes away with a takeaway. So Bakersfield does what they need to do with 6:29 to go here in the first quarter, as it's a big turnover for the Hornets on maybe a pass that should not have happened. Picked off by the last person, Hornet. Oh, Bakersfield starts. Here comes the run, looking to go the outside. Dances and turns. Trying to get there to Daniel Nettles with a nice little run there.
And Mark, that interception was by Brock Wattenberger, who in the end zone, a big play by Bakersfield. This is what they need to stay in the ball game against this Hornet squad.
Dylan Johnson goes out to the left. Wood still at quarterback. Going to keep running that little option. Takes it around here. And you've got to get it to the person in the open, as Ian Jernigan had no place to go.
And that's Jameer Cartagena, who came up and makes the stop. He's back after a few weeks as well, James.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of players back today on the offensive side and the defensive side.
So the big guys come in now. Dylan Fowler, tight end, 6'3", 220 pounds, out of Centennial. The big tight end, we'll see if they go to him here on a second down and 11 for Bakersfield at the 31-yard line. Woods looks things over. Now drops his running back. Gets a little motion going. Take it out left tackle. Looking for that motion. I said motion. But Jadaniel Nettles really couldn't get free after they held onto a foot.
Yeah, and looks like that was Tommy
You're right.
Inouye cleaned up with Amir Garrison. But again, on that right side of the field, no Des Palomalo yet for the Hornets. We'll see if he's in the ball game. On the left side at that end is David Franklin.
So we'll see if they're going to go deep. They end up bringing Dylan Johnson here. Johnson really hasn't seen anything yet. Woods goes back. Going to see if they're looking. Woods is going to take it himself. Nobody picks him up. Woods turns, stays on his feet. Deeks to the outside, comes back to the middle, gets across midfield all the way to the 48.
And what happens is in a man-to-man defense that Fullerton was running on a rollout with the mobile quarterback, what happens, James?
Well, all the defenders go with the receivers, and it leaves the whole middle of the field open for the quarterback to run.
So we get offsides.
So Carson Woods, Mark, is one of those quarterbacks not really prolific this season passing the ball. Only 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. But running, he's been more effective. He's part of the reason why they're upwards of over 200 a game.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Corey. They got 2 running backs at about 136. You add him on top, and that makes him a lethal offense. Run that straight drive play one more time, and, well, you keep going to Ian Jernigan. Jernigan likes to go off tackle, James, and that's what he did there.
Yeah, and he was tackled there by Inouye. They have a big defensive front. Grethen, Inouye. I know Franklin's not in there right now, but that whole defensive front is really big for Fullerton.
Yeah, so you got 99 is Grethen, 95 is Herrera. Inouye is wearing number 90 on your screen, and I think that's Angel Masses on the right side. Number 49 it is up front.
So Amaris Rowell now is on the left side. Woods, this time again, sidesteps, and it was a tackle made by his own offensive player that got into a scrum.
And why?
Because Herrera pushed him back into him. So I think Herrera gets the sack for that.
Yeah, Shane Herrera gets the sack on that because, Mark, the reason why his offensive line gets credit for the sack, well, it's caused by Shane Herrera pushing him back, pushing him way, way back.
You're older than me, aren't you?
That's Herrera's 3rd sack of the season, too, guys.
If Corey's wearing a cheerleader skirt, you need to get away from him.
We're both leaving.
There we go. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Bakersfield across midfield, but that's about it. Big 3rd down play. Woods goes back. See if he goes across the middle. He goes across the middle. There is nobody there to catch the football, and if he got it to Alexander, still would have been short of a 1st down.
And, Mark, what was interesting to see right there is that the last few plays, we had Cartagena lined up on their top receiver, Dylan Johnson, there. So that could be a good matchup to watch the rest of the day.
We'll watch it as Mark Esley II will back deep. He's going to stand right at the 10-yard line. Mark last time sort of misplayed the football, which didn't give him a chance to take off running. We'll see what happens now.
That's the most important part of a punt return is catching the ball securely.
Little kick. Esley says, I'll take a fair catch. Takes a couple steps back, and that's going to be down right at the 13-yard line as the official gets undercut. You know what? I'd have thrown a flag for intentional roughness.
Yeah, that's not how you score any points
Moved
there.
them back, yeah. So, Fullerton, 7. Bakersfield 0 with 2:46 to go. Well, they looked like they were going to run away with it, and so far it hasn't happened. Shearholz comes back out at quarterback. Fred Hunter in at running back. JT Weir out here to the near side of the field. First down and 10 for the Hornets, right at the 13-yard line. Shearholz keeps it himself. Running quarterback. Has no problem, gets a gain. They're going to give him about 9 3/4 yards on the play. We'll see if they're going to give him the first or are they going to call it just a little short. They're going to move the chains, first down and 10.
And that looked like their leading tackler, Janui, on the tackle.
Desmond Duffy comes on the near side of the field. See what Desmond can do today. Shearholz looks over again. We'll see if he runs a back-to-back. Straight down the middle. Right up there, and if you're not tripped up, you're probably still running. As Fred Hunter looked like he could keep running longer than I could keep talking.
Yeah, he seems to break those long ones loose. It's good to see him back in the backfield.
Second down and 5, right at the 30. No huddle offense. High snap. Shearholz. Smart play, JT, by the quarterback. High snap, you've got to make sure you don't fumble it.
Yeah, that's the most important thing is keeping the ball secure, right? And that was Connor Mullen on the tackle.
So it's going to bring up a third down and 5. JT looks things over. Mark Esley II here to the near side of the field. Desmond Duffy in the slot. Shearholz at quarterback. Pump fakes it, pulls it down himself. Is going to take it off. Gets hit. Gets knocked down. He's going to be short. This will be interesting to see if the Hornets go for this first down.
Yeah, that was Drew Underwood right there with the tackle. That's his 34th tackle of the season.
Fourth down and a yard. Guys, I got to ask you, would you go for it?
Yeah, you're going to go for it because you have a running quarterback in Shearholz in the ball game. So his productivity with his legs, that's why you punt the ball.
Now you know why Corey Nealon's always right. Because right in the middle of a stream, he changes the where and the way he's swimming. Fourth down.
Say Dejon Shanks back deep for the Renegades.
So we get a timeout on the field.
It looks like they're going to rethink it too, like Corey did on his thought process there.
Well, you know why, don't you? Because Corey is hooked up to the coaching staff down in the field here on Hornet Radio. When they hear Mr. Nealon say it, everybody listens. Oh, wait a minute. I can't use that. That's somebody else's stuff, isn't it? 34.2 seconds. And, guys, both of you, while we have a timeout here, especially James, the Hornets looked like they were going to rough shot over the Renegades. Then they make that interception, and all of a sudden now there's been a stabilization in the game.
And you know, football is a game of swings. Momentum is what makes the game go. So they had all the momentum at the beginning, and they're losing it now, and it's kind of steadied out.
So the Hornets are going to stay with the idea of punting it away here on Hornet Radio. Low snap. No pressure on the punter, the Hornets, as we get a backspin, and this gets up to the 49-yard line, which is a net what on the punt, guys?
Not enough.
12.
Thank you.
Now it looks like the better decision would have been to go for it if you're only going to get net 12 yards on the punt.
Here's the thing you look at on though. A bad snap, a missed pickup And if you're pressuring him, you're probably blocking the punt.
Right.
So Bakersfield comes back out.
And Mark, there's a new safety in the ball game. Giannis Dussault, number 29, engraved on your screen. 98 is Miles Tyree on front.
New quarterback in for Bakersfield. Double pass down the field as Malachi Statler is now in the game. So Malachi Statler is now quarterback for the Renegades.
And he was looking for Nettles on that double pass, but it just didn't work because Dussault was there as well as Xander Chisholm. It just wasn't a play that was going to work.
Malachi Statler in at quarterback. Ian Jernigan in at running back. I should be able to say that last name. Statler goes to Jernigan, trying to get a turn, and guys, James, there's nothing there, baby.
Except for Hasuna, he flies the ball. He's been doing that all season.
He has 33 tackles this season, and what makes it so special is Nehemiah Norwood in the corner held that position so Jernigan couldn't turn and make a play, allow for Hasuna to come in and clean it up.
Big third down, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, well, it's the Hornets up by a few, 7-0. Here on Hornet Radio, Corey, James, and the old guy, happy to bring you this game today here on Hornet Radio. And guys, while we got a quick moment, James, I mean, this really is a game you have to win. If not, the season's over.
Yeah, you got to win this one because the next 3 games you have are all against ranked opponents and then the playoffs. So this is the last game you have to get right and get your team in the right direction.
Yeah, because you got Cerritos coming up. You've got Golden West coming up.
And Pasadena City
and
College.
Pasadena City College coming up. So 2 of those 3 are going to be very tough football games.
3 of those 3
are
going to
be
be very
okay,
tough football
Corey's
games
going to give Pasadena a lot of love here.
Pasadena is a much improved team coming up from the American Division from last year, where I believe they were undefeated last year and played in the championship game. The Lancers, their record is 3-3. They're a solid team, and they will give Fullerton some fits if Fullerton doesn't come out to play.
And remember, earlier in the year, they gave Saddleback all they could handle too, and we had a good game with Saddleback as well.
Fullerton had a good game against Saddleback.
Fullerton, sorry.
So Malachi Statler now at quarterback. 3rd down and 10. Malachi throws it, drops it off on a quick little pass, Corey Nalen, to Jack, I'm going to say Kassinger out there. And so I'm going to say it that way.
Yeah, Kassinger did a nice job of just sitting down in the middle of the zone. Giannis Dussault comes up on the out pattern, leaving Kassinger available and open in the middle.
Dylan Johnson goes to the far side of the field. Statler, nice little quick pass. Pulls it down. Nobody's going to come up. There's no pressure. So what do? You find a hole, you pick up a few yards.
Yeah, Josh Grethen chases him down from behind.
Yeah, that's his 3rd tackle of the game already.
That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 5. So you just got to say, hey, we've got to be there. Dylan Fowler now in the game, the big tight end. So going to the far side of the field is going to be Dylan Johnson. Statler looking things over. Fakes it to Jernigan. Rolls out. Nobody's going to take him. I'm surprised he's not running, guys. And he finally flings it. There's a tackle in the end zone. I don't understand. He had enough yardage to buy a new house down by Newport Beach.
Well, and that's the difference in the 2 quarterbacks, right? Carson Woods definitely would have taken that opportunity to run for the 1st down, but that's not really Statler's game. So, and I think the linebackers realized that because they weren't biting on it either.
But when you look at that, James, I mean, again, you as a player have to say, hey, you're giving me a 1st down, I'll take it.
You also have to know your limits.
So there was a flag. So, no, illegal forward pass. He stepped over the line of scrimmage. He went over the line of scrimmage.
So maybe he's a little faster than he thought.
That's why it's an illegal forward pass.
Indecisive.
That's why you have to know all the signals by the referees. In your case, yes, yeah, okay.
That makes the decision to not run it look even worse.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, really, because as you watched him roll out, what he did is he wandered downfield.
And he had space to run, too. So instead of picking up 5 or 6 yards, they lose 10 yards.
Yeah, and you lose the down, too.
Yep. Now it's 3rd and long.
3rd and 10 for Bakersfield. Statler says this time I'm going to run, which he should have done 2 of the last 3 plays, and indecision is chewing on the Renegades' leg right now.
Yeah, that was Josh Gretham and Tommy Inouye on the tackle there.
So it's going to bring 4th down and a long 7 for the Renegades when you look at what's going on right now. Renegades trying to find an answer. Jack Kasinger in the slot. We get movement over there, and it should be. We'll watch. I'm not going to say who this is on yet. I don't know if somebody drug the football, so we'll see who it's against.
That's a big flag there. It takes it from 4th and about 8 to 4th and 3.
And it is against the Hornets, so it's going to move them 5 yards. So like James told you, it's going to bring up a 4th down and about 3 with 13-18 to go here in the second quarter. And the Hornets are only hanging on to a 7-point lead. Cornelian and James would say it is now 2-down territory.
But it's already 4th down, so they only get 1 down here.
Yeah, well, they're going to take 2 downs on this one. Jernigan back in at running attack. In motion was Johnson. Malachi flipping right there. Beautiful rollout pass, and they get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. So they get more than 2 downs to keep going. See, I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, Xander Chisholm on the
Oh,
tackle
it's at
there.
the 15. I thought it went down a little further. Doesn't really matter. It's still a 1st down with 12:48 to go.
Yeah, DeJon Shanks on the catch there for the 1st down.
1st down and 10. Malachi goes back to the middle, overshoots.
And they try to go back to Shanks again there.
So incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 for the Renegades at the 15. 12:34 to go.
That was a good sign for the Fullerton defense. Their big touchdown receiver, Dylan Johnson, just came off the field.
Shanks to the left side.
Sounds like my golf game.
Malachi pitches it out. Nice little turn. Makes that run all the way down. Ian Jernigan, who has great balance, gets down to about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, and that was our All-American middle linebacker, Ethan Charpentier, with the tackle there. That would make it 63 on the season now, leading the conference, leading the state.
So 3rd down and a long 6 for the Hornets with 12 minutes to go. Malachi over there. In the backfield with him is Jernigan. We get a flag on the play. And, you know, I'm going to blame Phil Thurman for this because Phil Thurman said, you know, we don't want a bunch of flags in this because it's going to slow down the football game. As soon as you say that, you know what happens.
Yep.
Illegal procedure.
I'm going to go ahead and set the defensive line here for the Hornets. Looks like they have a couple different guys in there. We got David Johnson in there now, David Herrera, Oscar Madrigal, and Josh Gretham, who's having a good game already.
Dylan Johnson goes to the far side of the field. Shanks comes to the near side of the field. In at running back is Nettles. Nettles goes from right to left. Malachi throws back the other direction and just eaten up like a shark looking for food. There was no place to go.
And that was Xander Chisholm with another tackle there. That is his 3rd tackle of the day.
So 4th down, and we'll see if they try a field goal attempt.
Looks like the defensive backs for the Hornets are being real physical today. They're wrapping up and making really solid tackles.
Carlos Villa is in there for the attempt. Ball is spotted at the 29. Yeah, 10. It's blocked. It's a free ball. It'll be a foot race. Pick it up. Here comes the journey. Got to outrun somebody. Does he make it? He drops it. It goes out. They call it a touchdown.
That was E.J. Robinson with the return there, Mark. And David Franklin with the block.
On the touchdown return of the block field goal attempt. Way to go! David Franklin.
So a 71.
It would have been a 39-yard field goal.
Okay. So we're good. Would have been 39. So if you want to know, that's a 61-yard. We're gonna give him the whole 61 yards, even though he picked it up around the 40 when he took off running.
And that would have been crazy to see him make that field goal. He's got a 40-yarder on the
Here's
season.
the discussion I would have if I was an official. He went down and went to hit, and the ball popped out of his hands. Does he have control when he's touching it down? If not, it should be a touchback.
He had
The ball just has to cross the line. As long as the ball goes across the line and he has control, it's fine. Once he hits the ground, it doesn't matter if it goes across the line.
But that's the point. Did he have control? If you're Bakersfield, that's your big question. Did he have control? They talked a while, and now they're going to come out for the point after. Touchdown is good.
And there's that momentum shift that we were talking about earlier.
Special teams again. So 10-36 in special teams. Everybody moves.
Except for the kicker, Mark.
We were all jumping up here in the booth saying, come on, man, we got to go to East LA later. The Renegades.
And there was about 4 different Hornets that could have picked that ball up and ran it into the end
Yeah.
zone, too.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, when he was running down there and realized he was going to get caught from behind, you could see the panic set in because he was taking his time. He was cruising for a while like the car show today. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is no good. Wide to the right. It's the Hornets 13, the Renegades 0 here on Hornet Radio. Corey Nalen, James, the old guy. We're holding down the fort, my friend. We'll see what happens here as this game moves on.
And that's one of those things that Fullerton needs to clean up a little bit. Is like the penalties for one. They got to stop making so many penalties. Coming into the game, they have 57 penalties for 565 yards on the season. And they're only making 80% of their extra points. Bakersfield, on the other hand, hasn't missed an extra point all season. Those are the things they need to work on before they get into these 3 ranked opponents coming up the next 3 weeks.
So we have a player down on the field with 10:36 to go here in the first half. It's now the Hornets 13, the Renegades 0 here on Hornet Radio. And when we look at them, 0-3 and 3-0, you're at opposite ends of the math equation. So if you're Bakersfield now, again, because Bakersfield's given up a lot of points, 47, 41, 44, 43. You look at their last 4 games, it has just sort of been a bloodbath when they've been out there. Is this not where you start saying to yourself, okay, let's play a little bolder? If it's 3rd down and 1, 3rd down and 3, 4th down and 2, do we start just saying we're playing for first downs? Because right now we know they're going to give up points. And the Hornets have everything to lose. And the Renegades, let's be realistic. You're 0-3. It's only victory that brings you self-satisfaction, especially if you can deny the Hornet. You're 0-3. It's not going to do anything conference-wise. So, I mean, it's to take away from the Hornets. It's not to pull off a victory.
Right, and like we were saying earlier, they've given up all these high-scoring games, and they've come back in the second half. So maybe if they had that second half mentality in the first half, maybe they just go for it. What do you have to lose? Maybe you'll be in the game a little bit sooner than having to rush at the end of the game to catch up to a big margin that you're already behind, you know?
So you can welcome your partner next to you.
Howdy.
There you go. That's what we like. Joseph's now on the air with us, so it's going to be Joseph, James, and Mark. Wait a minute. 2 J's and an M? What is this? It should be like 3 M's. So I'm going to have to change your name to Mike, Mike, and Mike, even though there's only 2 of you.
I'm a pretty big guy. I take up 2 spots.
There we go. So we'll see what, as Frazier comes walking off the field. And again, it's going down low and getting somebody there, but he's okay.
It's good to see him walking off. That's our second team all-conference last year center for the Hornets.
You get to do that all over again. That's our man, Hayden Frazier, one of our team captains.
A little bit of a hectic sequence there.
Yeah.
From a block pick to someone getting injured. Thankfully, everything looks to be okay.
Well, we don't speculate on any of that because we don't know till, we might get to see him. We hope the young man's okay. That'll be up to the athletic trainers on the field if he's okay out there. 13-0. The Hornets. Little sidestep. Off the side of the foot. It's going to go through the end zone for a touchback.
And that was a big swing there, Mark. You go from it possibly being 7-3 to now it's 13-0, and it's completely flipped.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at it, too, it's Bakersfield now. You talked about it, too. When you look at Malachi in there, he's basically a throwing quarterback. When you look at Woods in there, he's basically a running quarterback.
It looks like they came back out with Malachi.
Malachi Statler comes back out. So Statler at quarterback. First down and 10. Statler, once again, goes to the big man. He's tried to catch him more than once as Alexander gets it down to the 33-yard line. Nice little gain on that one. Gain of about 7 on the play.
And it looks like Angel Molasses on the tackle there.
Second down and 3. If you're Bakersfield, you've got to just take that rhythmic mood and take it down the field.
And it's Angel Masses, sorry, not Molasses. He's definitely faster than that.
Dylan Johnson goes to the far side of the field. Shanks on the near side of the field. They drop it right up the middle. First down across the 35, so that's going to move the chains as once again Ian Jernigan moves the chains for the Renegades.
And it looks like Miles Tyree is checked into the game with Shane Herrera, Angel Massis, and David Franklin on the defensive line.
Johnson goes to the far side of the field. Shanks comes in the near side of the field. Malachi flips it over there again, throws it over, picked up there by Dylan Johnson. Dylan Johnson crawls his way down all the way to the 45. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 1.
That was a tackle by Raisin Parker, too. He just checked into the game. We got a whole new set of linebackers in. We got Braden Weddle, Raisin Parker, and Hasuna still out there.
So Malachi Statler, as we've already established, is that throwing quarterback. You look at coming again, Dylan Johnson comes on the near side of the field. Shanks goes to the far side of the field. Run it straight up the middle. Nice sidestep at the hole, and they get a big first down. What a great little sidestep to pick up 9 big yards.
And that might have been a touchdown-saving foot tackle there by Leonard Adams. There's
So
nobody behind him.
Nice little run right there by Daniel Nettles, who just says, hey, if you can't stop me, I'll keep running. First down and 10 at the 48 for the Renegades. Fake it this time to Nettles. Throw it quickly over into the flat to get it to Shanks. Shanks gets a gain of, they're going to mark it at the 30. They're going to mark it at the 44-yard line.
Looked like he was tackled by the whole Fullerton defense there. It took them all to take him down.
So we'll see if the defenses change when they come back out there. Nettles in at running back. They hand it off to Nettles. Nettles gets hit at the line of scrimmage and eaten up.
And there's Ethan Charpentier, the All-American middle linebacker there with the tackle.
The run was working for a good amount of plays, but Fullerton decided, let's stop the run. Let's see what they do next.
So we have a 3rd down and a long 6.
And what happened there was Fullerton went back to their starting linebackers, Charpentier, Hasuna, and Rory, and that's how you stop the run. Linebackers are key to stopping the run.
Shanks goes to the far side. Johnson comes in near side. They hand it off, trying to cut back in the middle. They're going to be short, and now here's where the real decision comes if you go for a 1st down.
Well, that's what we were just talking about, Mark. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? This is definitely 2-down territory now.
Ian Jernigan brings up a 3rd down and 3. Jernigan stays in at running back. Malachi Statler in at quarterback. We're going to get holding on. So it's going to bring,
A little bit of confusion on the play.
yeah, now it's 4th down. So it's going to bring up a 4th down and 3. I thought it was 4th down 2, but then you said 2 downs, and I thought you might be right. And so,
I was just referring to why they would run it on a 3rd and 6 right there.
yeah. So Johnson goes to the far side. We get motion. Malachi Statler stands there. Here comes the pressure. Run it, kid. He throws down deep. The ball is grabbed. Who's got it? It is caught.
Wow.
On a great going up and getting the ball on
Dylan
Malachi Statler, just flung it up there.
Dylan Johnson with the catch. That was about a 35, 40-yard catch, getting them into the red zone. And speaking of the red zone, Bakersfield is 88% on red zone percentage. So when they get in the red zone, they have the ability to score the touchdown. Let's see what happens here.
So 1st and goal at the 5. Statler turns around. Jernigan in the backfield. Statler gives it straight up the middle. Little scrum. They should mark him down at about the 1 or the 1.5. It's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 13-0 with 6 minutes to go here. Special teams got that other touchdown. Offense has sputtered for the Hornets. And the Renegades are saying, you know what? Thank you very much. We'll take it. Shanks goes to the far side of the field. Nettles in the slot next to him. Fumble by the quarterback, and Malachi Statler, I thought, tried to hand it off and just laid the egg on the
I
ground.
think that was about the 3rd or 4th bad snap we've seen. That's what happened. He had a bad snap and nothing he could do with it except for eat it, and Charpentier come in for the tackle.
So Statler drops it. Ball gets picked up.
That was Charpentier's 6th tackle of the game already, giving him 67 on the season.
3rd and goal from the 9. Statler at quarterback. Shanks to the near side of the field. Malachi feels the pressure. Going in the end zone. Did he drag the foot? Are they going to call it? He's out of bounds. Incomplete pass. And they wanted to hope that they could get that touchdown, but Ryan Simmons could not pull it in.
Well, right there, it looked like there was a little confusion on the secondary of the Hornets. We had Cartagena and Chisholm running zone, but they all both went for the outbreaking receiver. If the quarterback would have thrown it to the one running the slant, they would have had an easy touchdown right there.
So Carlos Villa comes in. Last time he was there, he had it blocked.
Only a 2nd missed field goal of the season.
Ball is spotted. Kick is up. It's blocked a 2nd time. Special teams twice in a row blocks Villa's field goal attempts.
Is that David Franklin?
David Franklin recovered the block, but I'm not sure who got his big paw up there and blocked it, though.
So special teams with 4:40 to go.
And I guess it was Josh Grethen with the block. He's a tall, lanky defensive lineman, and has ties to MMA, so he could probably get up there and get those blocks. That was a good play.
Ball got picked up, returned across the 15. It'll be 1st and 10. So the Hornets, as Chris Lunsberg comes back in the game at quarterback. So Lunsberg back in at quarterback. Starts JT Weir from right to left. Lunsberg rolls out. Stop and go. Tries to get it to Endorf. Endorf cannot turn around and catch that. So Luke Endorf has that one drop. Luke's got 5 touchdowns this season.
Yeah, he's definitely a big play threat. And that was Carson Moore coming after him that pressured the throw and made it the throw harder to complete. Alongside Moore on the defensive line is Mario Rivas Jr.
Quentin Isabel in at running back. They hand it off to Quentin. QI takes it up, gets a gain of 7.
And then Brody Herda and Miles Poole are going to finish off that defensive line for the Renegades.
3rd down and 3. Isabel stays in the backfield. Bakersfield looks like they want to come. They look over the sideline. JT Weir in the slot. Endorf outside of him here on the near side of the field. They hand it off to Isabel. There's Isabel off and running. And I've got to see as he gets taken down, Quentin Isabel finally breaks free.
And that's another big play from the Hornets. It seems like when it matters the most, the Hornets come up big. There's a 3rd down, and they got a 60, 70-yard gain. 2 blocked field goals. So Fullerton's playing when it matters the most, and it is shown.
61 yards. Scamper for Quentin.
So 61 yards, they say. Quentin Isabel gets it again, goes straight up the middle. Flag on the play, so this one's coming back most likely. So we'll see if it's going to be holding against the Hornets. We'll wait.
Head coach for the Bakersfield Renegades, Tyler Thompson, is going to be kicking himself after this because 2 opportunities to score has turned into big, big failures. Fullerton leading the game 13-0.
So it's against the Hornets.
Yeah, Joseph, and without those 2 blocks, it's 7-6 if the field goals are converted. So it's a big difference, those two plays alone.
Yeah, and it's different, too, because when you were a D1 coach and now you're a community college coach, it's a different field altogether. And you guys both know where he coached at, don't you?
Yep.
Maryland.
Maryland. You should know that. We talked about that earlier today.
And played at Nevada.
There it is.
1st down and 15. Lunsberg flings it. Picked off again. Intercept number 2 for the Renegades. And their defense has come up huge. And I guess they heard Joseph sort of bad-mouthing him up here and say, we going to get turnover
curse.
number 2. Yeah.
There's the commentator's curse. Tyler Lewis with the pick. Sorry, that was Tyler Lewis with the pick. That was big plays when it matters. It seems both teams are here to show up to play the game.
Cliche number 1 here on Hornet Radio. 1st down and 10 from the 37-yard line for the Hornets. Good turnout today on a very warm afternoon on a late game here at Hal Scherbeck Stadium. So Woods back out at quarterback. Woods on the ground. We're going to get illegal procedure. And boy, howdy. Is that dodging a bullet or what? If you're Bakersfield, the Renegades got an illegal start, and that would have been a ball on the ground. Fumble written all over it.
And I'm going to go ahead and set the offensive line here for the Renegades. We got Jimmy Walls, Brady Phillips, Oliver Mamea, Andres Alcaraz, and Chad Troxer on the line. And it looked like the freshly checked in Brady Phillips is the one that jumped there.
So let's bring up a 1st down and 15. Carson Woods throws it. Ball is dropped. Incomplete pass. So a second down opportunity as Alexander could not pull that one in to move to any marker.
Yeah, their tight ends are struggling to hold on to the ball today. Big drop there. The fumble earlier on the hit by Chisholm. The tight ends are struggling for the Renegades.
Second down and 15 for Bakersfield. Fullerton 14-5 overall against the Renegades. Second and 15. Woods rolls out. Has time. Time to take off up the field. Knows he's going to get hit. Gets up to the 40, and at least, guys, he gains enough yardage to make a possible first down.
Yeah, and Carson Woods was trying to extend the play there. He hasn't been the most accurate today. He's 4-9 with only 9 throwing yards. So will they continue to run the ball, see more success that way, or possibly bring in quarterback Malachi Statler?
And the big difference there between Woods and Statler, if that was Statler looking to throw the ball, he had Dylan Johnson deep over the middle.
Third down at the 41 for the Renegades. Woods rolls out. Says, I'm going to throw it to Ian Jernigan. And Jernigan says, thank you. Give me some space. Give me some room. I'll get a first down for you across the 50.
Yep.
2:18 to go before the half. It's the Hornets 13, the Renegades 0 here on Hornet Radio. Joseph, James, and the old guys. Timeout is called on the field. So it's the 2-minute challenge here on Hornet Radio. That's what I'm going to call it, because they got 2 minutes to answer the bell and see if they can get some points on the field.
And I was just about to ask you, how important could be a score here, either a field goal or a touchdown?
Go ahead. You answer it.
Well, yeah, when you're shutting the other team out, any points are going to be big. I mean, it's 13-0 here. You get a touchdown, 20-0 going into half. Almost seems insurmountable against this defense for the Hornets.
I think what you do is you look at it because the Renegades have not been able to stay close to anybody in their games, and that's the thing that you look at. If they can't stay close, then you will look at the fact that, hey, it's going to be another game that's going to be overwhelming.
But you can almost look at that from the other point of view, too, because they've had to play from behind every second half the last few weeks. So they could be getting used to it.
Now I have the question, is a kick viable here? 2 blocked kicks. If they're in range for a kick, would you go for a kick, Mr. Pavlovich?
Oh, sure. Why not? I mean, what do you do? Are you going to assume that somebody can't do something? If you're going to assume somebody can't do anything, then they shouldn't be out on the field.
Exactly. Find somebody that can do the job.
You know, I mean, that it comes down to that. If my quarterback keeps throwing picks, I want to tell my quarterback to keep throwing. If you can't complete a pass, then shame on me as a head coach.
And the kicking game has been surprising, like one of the better parts of their game this season, so you can't just go away from it all the way.
Woods gets smothered like peanut butter and jelly, and that's grape jelly if you put it on a peanut butter sandwich.
And there's the All-American Charpentier with the sack. That's his 8th tackle of the game and his 6th sack of the season.
So they've got, coming back in the field, Malachi Statler is now back in the game. So Malachi Statler back in at quarterback.
4-yard loss for Carson Woods, 2nd and 14.
Big second down. Malachi goes back, comes over, swing pass over to Jernigan, but Jernigan gets maybe to the 45.
And there's Eric Rory swarming to the ball. These linebackers for Fullerton are all over the place.
So Jernigan doesn't really gain anything. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and still 16 for the Renegades.
All 3 of these linebackers. Rory had 10 tackles last week. Hasuna was the player of the week before that. And, of course, Charpentier's the All-American.
This is where I look for Johnson or Shanks if they're out there. And you throw it on Jernigan. Jernigan says, let me sidestep finally. And if he doesn't, James, I got to say, run. Just run when you catch the football.
Right.
You know, he does that little stutter step. Why? Who are you going to juke?
Well,
not anybody.
It was impressive that he even came down with the ball in the first place there and made something out of that throw.
So we get time out in the field with 1:11 to go here on Hornet Radio.
Now I ask, on the opposite end, do you be aggressive, go for a touchdown, make it a 20-point game, or even a kick? or do you take it into half, lead 13-0?
Well, if you're not bold enough to think you're going to score, then you shouldn't be in the game to start with. And with who could be the offensive player of the year in Lundsburg, you say, hey, you know what? Go out and get your 20th touchdown, your 19th touchdown, your 21st touchdown. Throw the ball, baby, and let's go get a touchdown is what I do if I was coaching this team.
But also coming off a pick six, any type of mistake here also changes the game as well.
Well,
So
we'll
you got to
see.
be careful.
You know the easiest thing to do? Why don't you return the punt for a touchdown?
That'd be lovely.
I think that's the easiest thing to do right about now.
And that was the first time we've seen Lundsburg make a bad decision like that with the throw, like a clear-cut interception like that all season.
Well, we've seen 2 of them already in this game.
The first one was by Sherholtz, though. Oh,
Here
blocked.
comes pressure.
They almost blocked that one too, Mark.
Ball comes down. Player dives for it, picks it up. Fair catch. Yeah, they really have. So we basically have a minute 14 to go here on Hornet Radio. Hot dogs covered with chili walking in front of us. Cowboy hats on, people sitting in the shade. It's a warm day here at Fullerton College. And you know what? It's just heating up as the offense comes back on the field. And, of course, who else? Chris Lundsburg. So it says one thing to you, baby. Fling it.
Right.
Fling it deep.
And it's been a quick strike offense all season long. Why shy away from it now, right?
Although on the day he is 3 from 7.
Lundsburg goes back, has time. Gets out of the backfield, run down the sideline. Going to move the chains. So nice little play. What do? You drop it off to Fred Hunter. Fred Hunter picks up a first down for you.
It's good to see our backfield getting healthy now, going into these important games coming up.
JT Weir now in the slot. Money man in the slot on the side. We'll see if Lundsburg looks for him. No, you're going to run the ball straight up the middle. Move the chains a little. You still have timeouts. You got 47 seconds to go. Lundsburg comes back up, 2nd and 6. He's got time. Flinging it deep. Go for JT. Double team. Ball is knocked away. Beautiful defense by the Renegades.
Aiden Moreno there with the coverage in addition to.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That's a tough decision to throw that ball right there into double coverage.
He's hiding a little bit. He's out there.
But that was our leading tackler, Janui, there, also helping.
There
with
we go.
coverage.
You know, I don't mind the play. You know, I'm up 13-0.
And you trust your defense.
They're going to run it straight up the middle. Nice little draw play. Spin it right there. Fred just says, I refuse to go down as Fred Hunter picks up the first down.
It's crazy what one play can do to your mindset on the drive. They might have thought about running it out there.
So we get a player that loses his helmet. He's going to walk off the field and then flops on the side, and he's stopping the clock in favor of the Hornets, plus the rhythm of the game. Now, I'm not saying the young man is, and there are flags. We'll see who it's against.
And with that run, I'd like to add, Fred Hunter is averaging 10 yards a run now. That's a first down each time he runs the ball on average.
So 10 yards a run for what? For the year?
For the game, sorry, for the game. For today's game. Tonight's
Okay.
game, today's game. He's got 40 yards in total on 4 attempts, with a long of 17 yards on today's game.
So we'll see what the flags are. As Mario Rivas Jr. at Long Beach Poly gets walked off the field. And I'm still waiting for the official to tell me what the flag is. So if it's unsportsmanlike conduct because they didn't think the player was hurt, or delay of game,
They're going to call it on Fullerton.
Corey Nalen says it's just a lot of yakking. So, once again, you know what I loved? You have a big defensive lineman for the Renegades said, hey, if you're not going to move the ball, I'm going to pick it up, move it for you, as they were waiting to move the ball. I thought that was pretty clever.
And for a long attempt here, Logan Lester's been a little quiet today. He was 1 reception, but that 1 reception on today's game was 30 yards. So he could be a deep threat attempt with 34 seconds left in the game.
That 30 yards was also a touchdown.
Nice. See, another break in the play here. Let's see.
So they moved the ball all the way back to the 31-yard line. So we're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hornets. So that moves it back. So a lot of yapping going on for the Hornets. Logan Lester goes to the far side of the field. JT Weir comes to the near side of the field.
Just called his name. Let's see if he rises to the occasion.
Lunsberg at quarterback. 34.1 seconds to go.
Still a little confusion on what's going on down there.
Mike seems to.
So we've got a first down and a good 20. We'll see. We've got all sorts of speculations going on up here in the booth. Feel like I'm at a stock market. Lunsberg steps back. Now he's going to fling it down the middle of the field. Push off. And they're going to call that pass interference.
Let's see who they call it on.
Against the Renegades.
It could go.
Against the Renegades. That is a horrible call against Bakersfield.
It almost looks like Rory pulled him down.
That's a horrible call.
Yeah, sorry, Esley.
I've seen that on Esley, yeah.
Esley went into
Mark
defense mode there.
Esley the second. Okay.
That's when the receiver turns into the defender trying to stop.
This could be a game-changing call here.
Well, they're going to sit there and talk about the conversation on here.
When you got to remember, too, the pass interference penalty at the college level.
Well, they picked up the flag.
Oh.
They picked up the flag on the field. So the officials are discussing things. We're gonna see where it goes. We'll see what's happening here, because that field is. We can't hear an explanation. Personal foul against the Hornets, against the Renegades. Yes, it's against both teams. You're taking it back to the original line of scrimmage. So that's what we're doing. So we've got, it's against the personal fouls against the Hornets. Pass interference against them. Offsetting penalties, we go back to the line of scrimmage. So we'll redo that one here on Hornet Radio, straight up the middle. Cut to the outside. It's a foot race. Fred just says, I'm running out of bounds. Gets to the 20, and great running by Fred Hunter, because Fred looks up at the clock and realizes 14.4 to go. I'm going to stop the clock and not waste a timeout. So Fred Hunter has been very, very productive out there. And we've got a Bakersfield player down. So there's time out on the field. With 14.8 seconds to go, it's the Hornets 13, the Renegades 0, here on Hornet Radio. The Hornets looking to take control. We'll see what happens around the league. I know there were earlier games at Saddleback here on Hornet Radio, so we'll see what's going on at halftime. Ryan Osborne is down with our good friend Ed Ford and Wade down at Saddleback for those games. See if some things going wrong. Corey Nealon will come on at halftime with me so we can see what's going on. Sanity here on Hornet Radio. Well, there we go. There's always insanity here. We know that. So they've got it at the 21. Lunsberg stays in at quarterback. J.T. Weir is in the slot. Endorf on the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is Mark Esley II. They go back. Lunsberg across the middle of the field. Oh, J.T. was open. Oh, my goodness. Tell you what, that's like getting on the 15 and there is no traffic. He would have been going forever for those who live in the high desert area. I don't see if I get this one right. I'm getting the chuckle from both my guys here that are up there. Yeah, you gotta. Are you up? I can't hear nothing. Oh, okay. 1 out of 20. I'm right. Lunsberg says, okay, let me try again. Go the other direction. Almost picked for the third time today, all together by the quarterbacks. We've already had 2. 1 for each. Player is down. 4.1 seconds. We might get to East LA by 8 o'clock tonight. As we see Phil Austin.
So when you look at this first half of play, it's not been a well-played first half by either squad.
No.
Fullerton has been sloppy with the turnovers. Bakersfield has been sloppy in the special teams. However, it's only 13-0 in Bakersfield. If you go in 13-0, even if you go in 16-0 at the half,
you're in the game.
You're still in the game, and you realize Fullerton is not playing their best. This is their second outing in a row that it hasn't been the crispest played game by the Hornets.
And Corey, when you talk about that, realize if it's not for a blocked field goal, we could be sitting here at 7-0 in this game at the end of the first half here on Hornet Radio. Don't forget football on Hornet Radio. We had, Friday football last night as the men's soccer team continue to look for an identity. Ryan Osborne, Joseph Pavlenko calling those games here on Hornet Radio. Next week, Day of the Dead with Ryan Osborne, myself, Wade, a few of our students will come on out, and we're going to look at a field goal attempt here on 3rd down with 4.8 seconds to go. They will put it at the 28. You add 10, it's a 38-yard attempt. I know I'm right with this one. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So as we come to the end of the first half, it's the Hornets 16, the Renegades 0 here on Hornet Radio. Corey Nealon, myself, Joseph, Peyton, James have all been on the air here, and we'll see who's coming on at halftime. It looks like it's going to be Mr. Nealon here on Sportsnet. Oh, Hornet Radio. I keep thinking I'm at the wrong place, but I stopped short at Hornet Radio. And Corey, when you think about it, a lot of games earlier today, we look around what has happened. Really, this could be that day that if somebody who really has their mojo going stumbles, this could make everything topsy-turvy in the SCFA on all 3 conferences, National, Central, Southern, as you got some of the games up. Thank you. Wait, I thought you'd gone to look at the other scores. I know the score of that game.
Well, I did, but I'm old, and sometimes I can't work my phone right because some things come on the screen that don't actually need to. So, yeah, we'll get to some scores in just a moment. And you talk about big games in the 3C 2A. There have been a few. There haven't been as many as you would think, but come playoff time, that you're looking at teams that are really playing well. And if coach of the volleyball team is still going to be here just hanging out, he should put on some headphones real quick, and we should talk for a few minutes about Fullerton College volleyball.
We should. So you got him up with us?
You got me?
I'm right here.
There
Got
we
you.
go. Coach Kevin Hitt is with us, the head coach of the women's team here at Fullerton College. And me and Mark always talk about your program. First off, we want to say thanks for joining us, and thank you for always letting us come out with the students and broadcasting the match, broadcasting matches. I heard you were talking to Phil about last night's match.
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to call it. What happened?
So Orange Coast College, number 4 team in the state of California. I mean, they have a team that I feel like could finish in the upper echelon of the Big West this year. That's how talented they are. And in the first round, we didn't play them as tough as we would like. But I'll tell you what, last night at the Hornets' Nest, your Fullerton College women volleyball Hornets actually took it to them, scoring 20 points, 19 points. Against the number 4 team in the state. And, you know, we're undersized, outgunned. You know how Hamilton is, outmanned, outmatched, outplanned. But we fought hard, and I'll tell you what, we played some of the best volleyball that we've seen in the last 2 years, and we were nothing but happy at the end because we think we can build on that.
Kevin, I've got to ask that question because Corey and I did a little water polo. We saw the top water polo teams out there. And the OEC is so competitive, there is not enough talent to go around. I would assume there should be, but it just doesn't seem like there is because you have kids that will say, well, I want to go to a program that always wins championships. So I'm going to drive 30 minutes down to Orange Coast or Golden West, or, hey, I think I'll go down to Saddleback. I'll take that hour drive. So how tough is it to build a program, not just win at a program, but build a program?
Look, the easy part is coaching on the court. And, I mean, everybody, all these coaches knows their X's and O's. The players on their teams are good, but you're right. Weirdly enough, volleyball is the number 1 participation sport in high school other than track and field. So as far as a team sport, volleyball's number 1. We have more volleyball players in Southern California than you can shake a stick at. But you're right. We're sort of behind the 8 ball here. And tell you just a quick anecdotal story. When I first got here, I had 4 players. I showed up. There were 4 players saying, "Coach, we're ready to go." I said,
Beach volleyball?
Yeah. I said, I have no eligibility left. I can't do this. So I begged, borrowed, and stole, found, cashed in some family favors. Next thing you know, we've got 8 players for that 24 season. And I'll tell you what, started with 8. Finished with 8. And, I've won a national championship at Northern Michigan University as assistant coach. I was coach of the women's assistant with the women's Olympic team for the London quad. And even though we went 2-20 in 2024, might have been my most proud season as a coach, getting 8 women from start to finish, never forfeiting a match, going 5-7 times with 5'4", 5'5" outside hitters. And now this year, I would call it my first recruiting season. 18 women came and said, we believe in Fullerton College. And I think we're going to build on that. I've got some friends that have called me from Hawaii, from Nevada. There's some folks, we're recruiting as far down as LA now. And, you got to drive past quite a few schools to get here.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that, about recruiting, because you were at Mayfair for a while as well. Go Monsoons.
Yeah.
And you built a program there, and you were very successful in CIF. Now, at the high school ranks, I was going to ask you, how far do you go? How far do you go? You went to Hawaii, but what makes a player special for you to travel to see them?
So, I'd lost the first recruit I ever tried to get, my daughter.
I wouldn't want to play for Dad either.
Yeah. Nope. She said, no, I think I'm going to go to Sonoma State, Dad. So there she went.
Yeah, she was smart.
Yeah. No, exactly. So at this level, I am looking for players that just believe in trying to be the best they can be. I don't want them to look at anybody. I don't want them to compare themselves to anybody. And I'm looking for somebody that no matter what the situation is, they're going to play hard, they're going to go after the volleyball, and they're going to hit the floor. Again, oftentimes I've gone to a gym to watch, and if you see somebody hold up or somebody not go to the floor, man, you can't fix that. That is something they gotta have.
Well, let's stick with recruiting for a second, too, because Corey and I watch a lot of volleyball. We will talk to each other. Corey doesn't have a life, and I'm just an
Me
old
either.
guy with a cat. So we will watch D1 volleyball all
Absolutely.
over. Long Beach State, my alma mater. Of course, we know the women's program was outrageous and has one of the best coaches in the world in women's volleyball. We know that this is a sport. So what I've got to say is that people don't realize how popular it is and how difficult it is because there are tons of big-time schools. We watch Nebraska games. There's 17,000 people sitting in there watching the game.
Pulling
So-
1.1 million in
Yeah.
on Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, people come in. So how many players come here and say, can I get to D1? Am I going to? Do you have to deal with that, too, when it comes down to recruiting?
I know that schools now, especially because of NIL, right, are dealing with those kind of things. I'm hearing the first question out of recruits' mouth is, how much money can I get?
Okay.
And that is happening at those Power 5 schools. But, again, another anecdotal story, University of Oregon, who was in the top 25 every single year, decided, from what I heard, not to give the rev share money to women's volleyball from the Big Ten, the new conference that you jumped
right.
in. Coach jumped ship. He's now the head coach of Kansas. He left because he feels you're not going to be able to compete at the Division I level unless you have money to give players. And I coached with Brian Gimolero, who was at Long Beach State. And I'll tell you what, I am not sure that a Long Beach State in this era, with no football team, with no NIL money, is going to be able to compete at the top 25 level. You look at all the schools that don't have money to give. Hawaii used to be amazing because I get to be in Hawaii.
Used to watch it all
Yeah.
the time.
But again, these schools don't have the coffers and the money to pay these players. And so what was unique, people are taking the bag over that.
Yeah, and so with that, how does that affect the smaller schools and the community colleges? Does it sometimes trickle down to those players coming down and going back up before they get their money, or how does it affect it?
Yeah, no, so I feel like the Power 5 conferences are the only real Division I schools there are, and everybody else is just going to be Division II someday.
Okay.
I really feel like there is going to be a line of demarcation, NIL money. It's going to be, do you have X amount of dollars to give to the now employees of your school who are playing for you? But there's going to be so many schools that simply cannot do that.
And how does it work? Also, expanding on that with high school and club teams, the differentiation. Now everybody's going club, and high schools get no respect. How is that NIL going to work when you recruit and for the state of volleyball in itself?
Well, if you're one of the top players in the country, you're going to ask for that bag. You're
Right.
going to say, I want, the pitcher from Texas Tech, I believe it is, making $1.1 million.
Yeah.
And she earned it. She was fantastic last year, and softball blew up. But, look, we're at a point in our volleyball careers where we have 3 domestic professional leagues, and we've never had that before. In fact, I'll throw you a little nugget. The first professional volleyball league in the history of the United States was actually started by Wilt Chamberlain. He started a co-ed professional volleyball league. Yeah, it went for like a season and a half and kind of folded up.
Yeah.
But we now have 3 legit professional volleyball leagues for women, and now we're able to have domestic leagues. And now these club players can watch women and be like that.
Is there a difference in the mindset at the community college level for players that, well, I'm just playing at a community college level, nobody really cares, but with a coach like you who knows his thing and knows his sport, is there
Knows the business of the
right,
sport.
and knows the business of the sport? Is there an inkling in their minds now that, well, there's 3 leagues? I'm with a coach named Kevin. Do I have a chance to get there?
Well, again, I don't know if you saw, but I wrote an article for Sports Business Journal on those exact same things. I covered all the volleyball leagues as they started to come out of the woodwork and pop up. And I'll tell you what, the JC level is so filled with a menagerie of every type of player there is. From the 5'2" player who was just going to hang it up because she thinks she's not tall enough. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I've got a player that I just got talked about. Coach called me this morning and said, hey, this club team told this setter that she's not tall enough, not going to make it. She's going to make it. You need to reach out. Reached out to her that 5 minutes later. Those are the kind of kids that that we've got to start getting here at Fullerton, right? Okay. But yes, there are players. I mean, Orange Coast College has an outside hitter, and her story is so unique. She was going to quit. She was done with volleyball. Newport Harbor kid, all CIF, 6'1" outside hitter, dropping hammers in the wood. She was done. But 2 years later, so she went to go and was a server at a restaurant, was just going to do her thing, go to school, get an art degree, do her thing. All of a sudden, she just said, you know what, I miss this. I mean, it kind of hurts us because she came and did a number on us, but you're going to get those rebounders. Right. You're going to get the women from Division I teams or the women that thought they were going to hang it up. And then you're going to get the ones that are just real gritty, may not have that skill level yet, but are gritty. The thing that I love most about junior college volleyball is you're going to get all kinds. And I'll tell you this. When I was coaching with the women's Olympic team with Hugh McCutcheon, I asked him, what's the biggest thing that's going to make a team successful? And he said, Kevin, the X's and O's, everybody knows it. The players know how to play. It's getting and managing those personalities and getting them all to go in the same direction. And at the JC level, I think it's the most difficult.
You brought up the word that we're all talking about in California now, Olympics.
Let's go Honda
when
Center.
When the Olympics come, because it's going to be on TV, and you know America's going to be there, and everybody's going to say we should beat the big European teams, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, teams like that are going to come out there that are big heavy hitters on the men's side and the women's side. What does that do to your sport? I mean, it's fashionable during the Olympics. Does that help you or the game at all?
Absolutely. Think about it like this. When I was a kid of 9 years old, the U.S. Women's Olympic team did a exhibition at the open-aired Lakewood Mall. They put a court inside the mall and played volleyball for 2 days. And I think you guys remember St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos, when beach volleyball, when we started, when Karch and his guys were winning on TV, on NBC, beating the Russians, because 80s was all about, Ivan Drago. It was, we got to beat the Russians. When we were beating the Russians for gold medals, volleyball skyrocketed. And I'll tell you what, whenever we win at something, America likes winners, and they pay attention. And that's, I think, again, Honda Center 2028, the indoor venue for the LA Games. I think, especially in this area with volleyball, I think you'll see a spike, not only in just, overall participation, but I think you're going to see new players coming out in middle school, elementary school. It usually blows up for a little while, and hopefully we can win and then stay winning after that.
Yeah, it's interesting because you brought up Karch. They used to have the United States Volleyball Center right down there in Anaheim, and he used to have an office there. Yeah, and I used to go down and visit with him, and I'd see him. Interesting man, to say the least, but he was that big spokesperson, and when people met him, oh, you're Karch Cry. Oh, I'd love to learn how to play volleyball. You've got to have that celebrity, too, that wins it for you to get all the kids hyped up to play.
And with that, and going back again to with the Olympics and back to the toughest division to coach at the junior, why is it so tough, and how do you do it?
So we get players, again, from the myriad of social economic areas, from skill level of not high to elite. So we get, and then those personalities have to learn how to work with each other.
Oh, wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're sitting here with Kevin Hitt, head coach for the Fullerton College.
We're at the half.
We're at the half with the head coach, Kevin Hitt of Fullerton College women's volleyball. Sorry about that, Coach.
Good.
Forgot to reset.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but because you get all sorts of different kinds. That's why it's tough. So you get, and so, again, my job has to be, to get that. So we have 2 kids from Compton and 2 kids from Yorba Linda, and we got to make sure that they know each other and get to know each other, because there may be differences in the way they live their life, the way they were brought up. And so we're teaching and learning about each other and really trying to create and promote an atmosphere of love, consideration, hard work, working for each other. And so, and that takes time.
And what about the parents? Throwing the parents, because how's that work out?
Here's the thing. These are women now. They're 18, 19, 20 years old. Their parents are no longer, walking into AD offices as high school parents. We would say, these women are adults. We're not even allowed to share their grades with you because they are adults. And so we teach, let the adults in the room handle their business. And again, all we care about here at Fullerton College is trying to create the best that they can be. And I think I've ran with that, and I'm demanding, not demeaning. That's an important part of this equation.
Sort of like me when I get frustrated about not getting what I need here.
In coaching, it happens all the time. And I raise my voice at times.
Me too.
But the reason I raise my voice is to make sure they understand that what I'm talking about at the time is important.
That too.
Yeah, and then it's just a hug and we're good.
Okay.
Oh, I don't
Literally how
hug.
it goes.
I can't hug. He
Well, we
won't
do
let
side
me.
hugs. We do side hugs.
He won't let me.
Yeah. We do side. But I'll tell you what, on Karch, do you realize that Karch Karai has won a CIF championship, a collegiate championship, a gold medal as a player and a coach, indoor and beach, and now he's trying to show us all up by going and being the head coach of the men's team, trying to win a gold medal there, and to complete the ultimate coaching experience.
He is volleyball. Let's be realistic.
He really
is volleyball.
He really is. And his teammates will tell you he was a 6'4" free ball serving dude, but his attitude and competitive nature, bar none.
And the women that came out and played beach volleyball out of Long Beach, I tell you what, Misty May had an attitude. I met Misty too, and she let you know she was darn good. There was no doubt about it.
It's okay to compete as a female.
Yeah.
It is okay to compete.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because that is one of the premier things that people need to hear.
Absolutely.
It's okay to compete. It's okay to like to compete.
Yes.
It's okay to show out.
Absolutely.
And do your thing.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, let's get what you want. Work hard for it. Because, I want them to be able to stand on their own. At the end of my experience that they have with me, I want them to know that education's important. You got to work hard to get that education. And at the end, I want you to have your 4-bedroom, 2-bedroom house in North Orange County, if that's what you want, standing on your own 2 feet, making your own money. That's how I do this.
You know what I want
think
before he
that's
goes?
good.
I just want more room at the table.
You see my line.
I saw it. Yeah, he drew a line on the table. That letting you know what sort of coach I'm dealing with here.
Keep
right.
bringing you over.
Kevin, thanks, because we enjoy your personality. I wish
You
there
guys
were
are
more educators like you, and I have to emphasize this. Corey will tell you, this drives me nuts. People will look at you and call you coach and coach. You are an educator first, a mentor second, a friend third,
There it is.
and then a coach.
And we didn't even get into the legendary status of esports yet, so that's
That's
another
it.
time.
That's another story for another time. Pretty fun stuff, too, I got for you.
All right.
We'll have that next time when we're doing Hornet football here on Hornet Radio.
Coach Kevin Hitt, thank you as always.
Thanks a bunch, guys.
All right. So
We're
Coach
back.
Kevin Hitt.
Yeah, and I tell you what, what a great guy. And if you're looking to come to a school to learn a sport and want to be around a coach, if you're a young woman that loves the game of volleyball, please come here and meet the coach. Talk to him. That's the best way to judge if the right program, not because they just win, because you know what? Not all winning programs are the right place for you to be at. And why don't you build a winning program? Don't be the last player on a team that's got a winning program.
And real quick before I get off the air and bring somebody else on for you, Mark
Oh,
DeBuggy.
joy for joy.
A couple scores, Saddleback 38-20 over San Diego Mesa. They are at Saddleback. Coach Griff over at San Bernardino Valley, they lose to Santa Monica in the American Division 30-24. Golden
Big
West
loss.
all over Orange Coast 69-6. We're going to keep it down here in the SoCal area. If we have more scores for that here, we're sitting at 16-0 Fullerton over Bakersfield. Riverside beating Southwestern. That was a big game of the day in SoCal, 42-21. They're approaching 2 minutes in the first half. Long Beach over Santa Ana, 14-0. And that'll do it for the scores for the afternoon games in SoCal. One game you want to mention up north, 2 games actually. San Francisco 24-9 over Laney. And the surprising right now with 10:30 to play, American River over Butte 20-17. And Sequoia's beating undefeated Monterey Peninsula 42-20.
So we're going to get ready for the second half of exciting community college football here on Hornet Radio. The Hornets are up 16-0 here on an interesting first half. Special teams were extremely special in that first half, and that's what allowed them to be where they are. And now I've got Caleb, the voice that you hear of women's volleyball here on Hornet Radio, going to do a little men's football with me here as the Hornets fake a hand around on the kickoff, goes up, gets taken down at the 25. Caleb, it's nice to have you on the air with me as we get ready. Interesting first half. It was special teams that really dictated what the score is right now.
Yeah, I mean, 2 blocked kicks. One of them returned for a touchdown by E.J. Robinson. The other one returned about, I believe, 15 yards or so, if I remember correctly. And on top of that, the defense for Fullerton has been extremely special. Charpentier in particular, 9 tackles in the first half, 3 for loss.
Sherholz comes in at quarterback. Quentin Isabel at running back. Quentin gets it up, straight up the middle. Refuses to go, gets spun around all the way out to the 45-yard line. We've got the stats over there, so Caleb will get to those in a second when we get a chance.
Quentin Isabel, who just ran that ball, 4 for 87 in the first half, rips off another big one.
There you go. So almost 22 yards a carry for Quentin Isabel in this game. Hands it off again. So he should be over 100 yards in this game already. He had 87 at halftime, and we're gonna put him. I'm gonna just say right now he's over 100 yards in this game. Straight up the middle, nice little carry by Sherholz.
Isabel is up to 113 on the day after these first couple of runs here in the second half.
So Quentin Isabel already, and I wonder what Fred's got already too. Between the two of them, they could be close to getting those big yards. Remember, against Bakersfield, the record is Ryan Bird against Bakersfield. Once again, straight up the middle, Quentin just adding to his total.
You mentioned Fred Hunter, Mark. He's up to 87 on the day. Before that run, it was a total of 200 between them both.
So Ryan Bird, 273 yards in a game is the rushing record for a game. That was against Bakersfield in 2013 when you look at what they're doing.
And then another record for the Hornets, also against Bakersfield, most passing yards in a game. 497 back, all the way back in 1982.
That's true. So I like that. You came up with that. Most net yards in a game against Bakersfield, 2013. 541 net yards against a team. So few records against Bakersfield when you think about how they have played here on Hornet Radio. First down and 10. Cross the 40 all the way down to the 38. Sherholz looks things over. Goes back to throw. Throws it across the middle. Little sidestep, gets away, stays on his feet. Nice little catch by Desmond Duffy. So Duffy is moving on there.
Yeah, he was able to keep his low center of gravity on the tackle, able to spin out of it just enough to get that extra little, like 2, 3, maybe 4 yards.
Straight up the middle. It's going to get taken down there. So we're going to see a few more people. QJ Jones in there. Or is that OJ? I'm sorry. I looked and thought it was a It's O.J. Jones. So O.J. Jones in at running back now. Near side of the field, Luke Indorf. 3rd down and 1. Hand it off to O.J. Jones, straight up the middle. Jones, are they going to give it to him? It looks like he's got a 1st down, so we'll move the chains.
O.J. Jones, your ball carrier. A hop and a pop for a first down for the Fullerton Hornets.
So we have another player down on the field. So another timeout on the field here on Hornet Radio. So why don't you go, while we got a little time out there, go through the stats from that first half.
Yeah, for Bakersfield, Malachi Statler was 10 for 12 with 89 yards, and Carson Woods 5 for 10 with only 19. So one quarterback clearly playing better than the other one today for Bakersfield. Lunsberg, uncharacteristic game out of him. He was 4 for 11 with 66 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Only his 2nd interception on the entire season. And coming into today, Shearholes was top 5 in pass touchdowns in the 3C2A as well.
So some of the updates there. What do we have as overall offense for the Hornets?
Overall offense for the Hornets ends out with 25 plays for 264 yards.
There we go. So if they could do that in the second half, which we don't think will necessarily happen, they could break most net yards in a game.
Resetting the record that they set last time they were at Bakersfield as well.
Desmond Duffy goes to the far left or far side of the field. Indorf to the near side of the field. 1st down and 10 for the Hornets. Keep it on the ground. Flea flicker. Looking for Indorf. Indorf fought. Incomplete pass. So they go for a flea flicker. It doesn't work to Indorf. And good coverage by the defense of Bakersfield out there. One of the things that you've got to give them a lot of credit for is the defense that you had right there by Richard Gooden, as Gooden played man on man.
Yeah, that was fantastic defense. I feel like if Indorf had gotten his second hand out there, he would have been in a much better position to make the catch, but because of the hand fighting with Gooden, he had no chance really.
Isabel back in at running back. Isabel off a left tackle. Refuses to go down, keeps going. He's going to be across the 20. They're going to mark him right down at the 20-yard line. Caleb will reset the offensive line for, and we're going to say a fumble. Now, okay, officials are there. Bakersfield says we have the ball. The officials are just sort of visiting in the middle of the field. There's been nobody calling a fumble. They say it stays with the Hornets.
And as you mentioned, Mark, the offensive line doing a lot of work up front for Fullerton. Khalil Passy Kini comes off for Nathaniel Booker, and we have Hayden Frazier, Dylan Spencer, God's Power Otunye out there, as well as Michael McDonald at right guard.
Run it straight up the middle one more time. Get a flag on the play, and that was thrown from the white hat. That should be holding, and it is, against the defense. So, and then, oh, he made a mistake. He said the defense and flipped it back towards the offense. Holding against the Hornets. So we're going to mark that back to the 30. Did you get everybody on that offensive line?
Yes, I believe I did.
Okay. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 15 for the Hornets. Good beginning, sluggish now since they've got across midfield. Once again, try to go off a left tackle, and there's absolutely no place to go as Quentin Isabel gets taken down. That should bring up a 4th down. The ball will be at the 30. You move it back to about the 36. If you were to try a field goal, it'd be a 46-yard attempt, so we think they'll keep the offense on the field.
That was Carson Moore in on the tackle on Isabel for Bakersfield.
So 4th down and a good 13. Sherholz at quarterback. Isabel at running back. Big 3rd down play. Bakersfield wanting to make a stop so they have an opportunity to feel like they're back in the game. Go back. Lots of time to throw. Lots of time to throw. Decide to take off running. Now throws across the middle of the field, and that should be a 1st down.
That was Mark Essley, the second, sitting down in the middle of the field, finding the open spot so that Shearhose can get him the ball, and he just lays down, makes the catch. Easy 1st down.
1st down and 10, right at the 10-yard line. Shearhose hands it off to Isabel. Quentin, touchdown Hornets. Quentin Isabel gets in. And we have a little discussion going out there on the field. Helmet comes off. Nathaniel Booker had his helmet ripped off. Didn't appreciate it from the defensive player, but he didn't overreact to it, so therefore there wasn't a flag. The touchdown stands.
It was a great push up front by Hayden Frazier and Cleopasi Kinikini from the center and left guard position to enable Isabel to get that last touchdown.
9:26 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter, ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 9:26 to go, it's now the Hornets 23, Bakersfield 0 here on Hornet Radio. Don't forget, more volleyball around the corner here on Hornet Radio. Soccer not far away on Hornet Radio. And, of course, Day of the Dead here on Hornet Radio. So, the Hornets really came up big, Caleb, because they had sort of staggered around the field. So
after that great start by Isabel, opening up huge gaps and being able to stay on his feet. He wasn't able to do that once they crossed the 50 until those last 2 runs right there, and it was very, very well done by both him and the offensive line.
So Texas James is back on the air with me, along with Caleb. Corey Nalen loading up for our trip to East LA. So Bakersfield looking for something to have a spark from. Taken at the 5. Stays with a little steam. Looks, refuses to go down. Gets all the way up to the 40-yard line as Jadaniel Nettles with a nice return for Bakersfield. And Bakersfield, guys, is looking for a little magic. Got to see where it's going to come from, Caleb, because they haven't found any so far.
Yeah, I mean, the defense led by All-American Ethan Charpentier has been absolutely stifling this Bakersfield offense here, and including the 2 block field goals.
Malachi Statler comes up. Statler flings it out, tries to throw it in the flat. Nice little turn, steps out of bounds on a nice pitch and catch. Then Nettles coming out of the backfield. And James, if you're going to take away the rush on that, throw little flat passes. That'll slow people down coming after you.
Yeah, running through the tackles isn't working for him. Those linebackers in that interior defensive line with Grethen and Herrera are really stuffing the run. So, yeah, you got to go outside and try to beat them on the outside.
Nettles in the backfield. Malachi Statler hands it off one more time, straight up the middle. Nice little play, not much on that one to Nettles.
That was Josh Grethen on the tackle there. That's his 5th tackle of the day.
So 8:30 to go here on Hornet Radio.
And it looks like Josh Grethen's joined there by David Johnson, Tommy Anue, and Oscar Bagdriel.
Big 3rd down. Malachi rolls out, looking someplace to go. Finally goes in the middle Nice pitch and catch there. So we're going to move the chain. So nice little catch, pitch and catch, and Bakersfield moves the marker.
It looks like the linebackers for Fullerton are the same as the start of the game. Eric Rory, Ethan Charpentier, and Hasuna. Joined by Fred Adams, Xander Chisholm, and I'll get the other two in a second.
Going deep, just can't get it out to John Shanks.
It looked like Shanks maybe stopped his run a little bit. Maybe he thought he couldn't get there, but to me it looked like if he had cut a little under it, he might have been able to reach it.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. Malachi Statler looks things over. Statler feels the pressure. Hands it right up the middle, and guys, there's not much room to run for Bakersfield.
Charpentier is right there once again for the Hornets as the helmet comes off of Jadaniel Nettles after the tackle.
And when your helmet comes off, you have to leave the field for at least one play.
Looks like Shane Herrera just checked in for Tommy Inouye, too.
So Ian Jernigan comes in now the game as a running back for Bakersfield. Malachi looks, throws it. We get a flag on the play, and we'll see what the play is as Alexander picks that one off. He gets a 1st down, but we'll see. Just short of a 1st down. No, they're going to give him the 1st down, but we'll see if it stands. Offsides against the Hornets, so we should move the chains.
That seemed like a pretty late flag for an offsides call. I was thinking holding with the timing of the flag.
1st down for the Renegades. They're moving down the field. 1st down and 10, right at the 33-yard line. Malachi Statler comes back out. Johnson over here. Malachi Statler hands it off. Once again, Jernigan gets across the 30, all the way down to about the 28.
Yeah, it looks like Hasuna on the tackle there. Oh, no, sorry, Charpentier.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year, and that's his 10th tackle of the day, I do believe.
And he averages 10 tackles a game.
Yeah, that'll put him at 71 on the season.
Statler looks over at things. Jernigan still in the running back. 2nd down and 5. Malachi goes back, sidesteps, feels pressure, and he is swallowed up like eating a hot dog on the air here on Hornet Radio.
That was Frank Williams coming around the right side, and just absolutely drilling the back of Malachi Statler.
And he had just checked into the game right there, too.
Statler comes up. Jernigan still in the backfield. Statler rolls out. Thought he was looking for Jernigan. He wasn't looking for Jernigan. Out of bounds, incomplete pass. So are they going to talk about it? Because he definitely looked like he was out of bounds.
And either way, he didn't survive the ground either.
So we're waiting for the conversation by the officials if it is a catch. Nobody's moved. So we have 3 officials talking to each other. It says he was out. It's an in. One is calling it a catch. I thought they were going to say no. Now they're calling it a catch.
I would have agreed with you, Mark. That didn't look like a catch to me. It looked like he was out of bounds, and he didn't survive contact with the ground either. We saw the ball dribbling away on the Hornet sideline.
That's a pro rule, not necessarily an NCAA or a CCCAA rule. Remember, what happens at the pros doesn't necessarily happen on the collegiate level. Malachi brings him out. He gets the benefit of the first down. Jernigan stays in the backfield. Johnson, who has been running but hasn't seen the ball yet, pump fake by Malachi. Malachi says, back in the end zone, that could get picked. Incomplete pass.
That looked like it was through the bread basket of Dylan Johnson. He looked like he had his arms exactly where he wanted to, and it just kind of dribbled through. That would have been Johnson's 7th touchdown on the season.
Yeah, that's a good matchup there, too. Fred Adams on Johnson.
So now coming in for the Hornets, Xander Chisholm now comes in at defensive back for Fullerton. Run it straight up the middle with Jernigan. Right off the center's hip for a nice dive play.
That was Leonard Adams with the tackle there.
And you've got to be impressed with as well as Jernigan has run in this game today for Bakersfield. He averages roughly 68.5 yards. And next time you get a chat, sort of look at the stats and see what he might have had in that first half. Bobble
Fumble.
ball. Let's see who has it, who came down with it, because when Jernigan hit the line, the handoff was not there by Bakersfield. Stays with the Renegades.
And Mark, you mentioned wondering about Jernigan's stats. He had 8 rushes for 27 yards in the first half, and as of right now, he has 10 for 38.
Stands on the field for 4th and 3. Sing it to him.
Big 4th down. Here come the Hornets. Malachi says, help me somebody. Ball comes out. Is that a fumble? They're going to call it a live ball. 40, 30. Defense is going to score again.
That was Ethan Charpentier with both the pressure and the pickup. What a play by the All-American potential defensive player of the year.
So his second return of a touchdown this year. And Corey Nealon has already said he's the player of the year defensively for this year for the Hornets. So it's been special, James. It's been special teams, defense that has come up big here. And guys, I got to ask you both in a second. As we wait for this extra point. And the extra point is good.
And Mark, that was Charpentier's 2nd career touchdown here at Fullerton College.
He really does just fill the stat sheet. Sacks, tackles, fumble recovers, touchdowns. He really is an amazing player.
He came into today tied with Damien Nouveau from Monterey Peninsula with 61 tackles for the lead in the 3C2A. And as of right now, they both have 10 today. So they're still tied at 71. Monterey Peninsula's game is almost over, though. So Charpentier will have more opportunities to take that solo lead.
Yeah, and does he have a touchdown on the day?
That's true.
That's the equaling factor there.
So both of you have been here all season with us. Corey's already anointed him as Defensive Player of the Year. He was Defensive Player of the Year last year. So I'm going to ask both of you. You've seen him play. James, I'm going to start with you. Where do you put him? I know you haven't seen everybody play, but for the teams you have seen play and the other teams that you look at scores, are you going to give him the same blessing Corey did?
Well, I think he's definitely the most valuable player on this defense. Like the week against Ventura when we were struggling to make the tackles, he's the one player that doesn't struggle to make tackles. So like I think he leads by example, and he's the leader of the defense and this entire team.
I mean, how could you not give him Defensive Player of the Year, at the very least, for this Fullerton College defense? 71 tackles so far on the season, a defensive touchdown, and he's very easily the leader of this defense.
So 3 people have voted for the young man to be Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm moving around because I'm getting squished on both sides here. I think that question is for you two. Oh, question's too late. So your answers are way too late. I'd love to tell you could both answer that, but there's no reason to. So the Hornets now pulling away from Riverside. 30-0 here on Hornet Radio. Right in the middle. Ball hit. Taken. Right there. Nice little pickup by Shanks. Shank turns the corner. Goes down right at the 30-yard line. So with 2:35 to go here in the third quarter, well, it's been all Fullerton College Hornets here on Hornet Radio. James, Caleb, Joseph, Peyton, a crew of 1,500 every time we come out here. The budget is astronomical here on Hornet Radio.
At the 31-yard line, it's first and 10, Gates.
So once again, Carson Woods now back out at quarterback for the Renegades. Woods across the middle of the field, drops a dime on one of the prettier passes to Alexander in this game. That really was the nicest pass by Bakersfield.
Yeah, it was. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Was
Caleb.
Xander Chisholm finally able to drag down Jaheim Alexander?
Takes it all the way down to the 45. First down and 10 for the Renegades. Looking for a little spark. Alexander goes far out to the right. Shanks goes with him. First down and 10 at the 45 for the Renegades. Little leaning going on there. Once again, throws it over. Woods steps up, puts it on the dime. Picks up a gain of 7. Well, I tell you what, if you know you can throw it to a guy that'll catch your football, keep giving him that extra dollar bill.
Alexander, coming into today, only had 8 catches for 114 yards.
Alexander goes out far to the right. Shanks goes with him. Out near left is Dylan Johnson. Hasn't seen the ball yet in this game. Straight up the middle. Gain of about 2 on the play. It's going to bring up a very workable third down for the Renegades.
Yeah,
Braden Weddle was the one to bring down Nettles on that play.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Hornets made a lot of defensive changes here, and now they're moving the ball. We got Carter Gina down at the cornerback. All the linebackers are changed. We got Brandon Weddle in. Raisin Parker.
Third down and 3. We'll get the rest of that defense in just a second. Straight dive play again. Go over there, make the play, pick it up. Jadaniel Nettles gets it. Let's get back to that defense right now.
Yeah, Connor Nunez is in there as well.
That was, and Makai Connor in on the tackle right there.
And that was Zay Delche was in the game. He just came off, though. And it looks like he was replaced by I can't tell.
Go back to the offense. Get the set here. First down and 10 for the Renegades. Right at the 33-yard line. They're trying to find an answer for something. Throw it across the middle. Nobody's there playing defense all the way down to the 15-yard line. They are knocking on the door.
Yeah, that was Makai Connor once again backpedaling and not able to make the break on the ball fast enough. It looked like his cleat maybe slipped in the turf a little bit.
first down and 10 right at the 15-yard line. Alexander goes out to the right. Over here on the left is going to be Johnson. Straight up dive, right up the middle. Gain of 4. That's a generous helping of yardage with 14 seconds to go here in the third quarter. With 14 seconds to go here in the third quarter, it's the Hornets 30, the Renegades 0 here on Hornet Radio. We're going to let it run down as we head into the fourth quarter. Well, it has been all Fullerton today. And gentlemen, before we get that fourth quarter, quick summary of what you've seen in these first three quarters, James, and then we'll drop it over to Caleb.
I would say special teams and the big plays when you least expect them, really. Right when you think you're about to score, giving up a big block touchdown or the interception touchdown, those people scoring are what's really killing the Renegades.
I would agree. I mean, it's defense and special teams are playing outstanding for Fullerton. They've been flying around the ball, and it looks very, barring a miracle, Fullerton is going to move to 15-5 all-time against Bakersfield.
There we go.
Yeah,
But the most important thing, they're going to be 4-0 in conference. And I think Corey's giving a lot of love to Pasadena. I really do. Corey looks at Pasadena as maybe that upset game, so that's why he's giving love. We know how good Golden West is. They just smashed their opponent. I mean, talk about smash burgers. That's what they did to their opponent. And, of course, you've still got to look at Cerritos. I think Cerritos is the team you need to watch out for in this entire conference. And don't forget Saddleback. They've only got one. Guys, if Saddleback wins today, they're still there. So it's a horse race to the end of the year in the conference here on Hornet Radio. Carson Woods comes back out. Ian Jernigan, the running back. Flip it over quickly there. Try to take down the runner. Try to take it down. Dylan Johnson finally gets a pass thrown to him and has absolutely no place to go.
Yeah, that's Cartagena with the tackle. Brian Crooks is showing a lot of trust in him, putting him on their best receiver like that when he started the season as a receiver himself.
And it looked like Johnson got put in a bit of a spin cycle there by Cartagena, spinning him around like a carousel, holding onto the back of his jersey.
Second down and 10.
Looked like Tuala just checked in for the Hornets on the defensive line.
Ryan Simmons now in the game for Bakersfield. Goes to the far left of the side. To Daniel Nettles. Ball comes out. Wood says, excuse me, once again, and you guys have talked about the inaccuracy of the ball getting hiked today. Does the defensive line put that pressure on that center?
Yeah, I mean, with having Madrigal, Inouye, Palomalu, Grethen, all those guys on the defensive line, plus the blitzing from people like Braden Weddle and Charpentier, and Weddle just made that tackle on that play. He wants his hands back too quickly.
So, fourth down. Once again, we got to get timeout on the field because that's going to take us. Well, who'd they call time? Fullerton? So Fullerton called a timeout. So with 13:35 to go. Oh, it was Bakersfield?
It was Bakersfield,
okay. All
yes.
right. So 13:35 to go. It's the Hornets up 30. The Renegades 0 here on Hornet Radio. Almost said the other team again. I just love Ed Ford. That's why I keep mentioning this game.
To go back to what you're talking about, the bad snaps, it's hard enough for a quarterback to play against this defense as it is. It's even harder when they're scrambling for their lives trying to find errant snaps.
So they're going to try again. And, of course, you know, I already got asked the question, would you kick the field goal? Yeah, I want my field goal kicker to think he can get it. Ball is spotted at the 31. Ball is up. Boy, low line drive. It's no good.
That was very close to being blocked yet again. Carlos Villa, the kicker, came into today 7 for 8 on field goals, 0 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, but James, did you see the level of all 3 field goals? I mean, I'm all of 6'5", and if I'd have stuck my hand up, I could have blocked that.
I'd argue 5'5".
What? Wow.
Closer to 5'5" than 6'5".
You know what? My volleyball coach thinks I'm 7'2", so we're not going to tell him any difference. There you go. See? Did you hear that? He even dreams about me. I'm so talented. So Fullerton with another stop on a field goal attempt. Bakersfield is 0 for 3 today here on Hornet Radio. First down and 10, right at the 25-yard line for the Hornets. Straight up the middle. So, little surprised that Jack Sherholtz is in the game.
And Fullerton's got the same starting offensive lineman that they had to start the game with Zamora, Kinney, Frazier, McDonald, and Spencer.
Desmond Duffy comes in the game. He's in the slot to the near side of the field. So Duffy is out there. Outside of Duffy, Michael Hubbard. So Hubbard, the near receiver, Duffy in the slot next to him. Second down and 4. They're going to run it straight up the middle again.
Yeah, he never went down.
Not down, finally down at the 45, and you've got to finish off your tackles if you're Bakersfield. And you've got to love what you got going on out there because Quentin Isabel is just a tough, little gritty runner, which you've got to love about watching him there.
He's up to 155 yards so far.
Sherholtz looks over the sideline.
Very clear opportunity for more here.
First down and 10 at the 45. They hand it off to Quentin Isabel again. This time he gets sort of grabbed around the collar, pulled down after maybe a gain of 2.
Yeah, that looked like he was brought down by his face mask. No flag on the play. But it seems like it doesn't matter what running back Fullerton uses today. They're all running it well.
Gain of 4 on the play. It's going to bring up a second down and 6, just short of the 50-yard line. They try to get the Renegades to jump. They look back over. Duffy's still in the slot, the near side of the field. Sherholtz looking around. They run a quarterback option with Isabel. Get him on the outside. So basically, when they run that option, I come down the line. I either pitch it or not. If I get an opening, I get to keep it.
Yeah, it's all about that edge rusher too. Whatever he decides to do. If he tries to set the edge, then you give it off inside. If he tries to go inside, then you keep it and you go on the outside.
So it's going to bring up a third down and an easy 5 right there. They're sitting right at the 50. They got to get down to the 45 for a first down. Straight up the middle. Sherholtz says, you know what? I'm going to take it myself, and gets a first down.
That was a perfect example of that run, that little option you were talking about.
So straight up the middle.
And they're running the ball at will, Mark. And
Yeah.
this is kind of like the last time that they played each other back in 2013 when Fullerton set their single-game record for most rushing yards in a game with 541 yards.
Yeah, they really are. You got O.J. Jones now in the game at running back. Sherholtz at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 40. They run the option. O.J. Jones reaches back and tries to cut underneath the defense. And, of course, there's not a real way to do that, but that's what he tried to do. What messed him up at the beginning, the pitch behind him, give him a lot of credit, James, for actually grabbing that ball.
Yeah, that's a dangerous play. And when you're trying to run out the clock, I don't necessarily agree with the pitching of the ball because that just puts yourself in a little bit of harm there.
I mean, to me, it looked like Sherholtz panicked a little bit. He saw that the Bakersfield defense sniffed it out immediately and just tried to get rid of the ball.
Second down and 10. No gain on the play at the 40. Sherholtz across the middle. bobbled on a pass, and just for a second it looked like it was going to get dropped. I tell you what, throw me the football. I want to catch it. And you sit there and go, is it mine? Is it mine? And, of course, finally, Blaine McGee, the tight end, pulled it in. Straight dive play off the right side. That's going to OJ. He moves it down there. So, one pass in this entire event, and that's moving the ball, Caleb.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been a run game all game, or run team all game long. Before that pass, they were.
So they almost got him to jump. Second down and a long one for the Hornets. They've been methodically moving down the field against Bakersfield. Again, Jones got it. OJ bounces off. OJ Jones bounces off. Did he get there? Just short. Nice little pinball move by OJ Jones, bouncing off a defensive player to stay on his feet to almost get a first down. So we'll make it 1st and goal for the Hornets. I formation. So you dot the I with the last running back. Hand it right there. Straight up the middle. Should be in. Touchdown Hornets. So Jones gets in there with a straight I formation. So his first touchdown of the season for O.J. Jones. And the Hornets now just trying to increase it. And you look at Bakersfield, guys, they've been averaging giving up almost 47 points a game in this recent losing streak. And it looks like again today they're going to get close to being in the 40s. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 8:14 to go, well, it looks like the Hornets are going to come away with number 4 in conference this year.
Definitely looks like that, Mark. And as I was talking about earlier, this has been a very clear run game for Fullerton. After that drive, both Lunsburg and Shearholes are a combined 6 for 15 passing with 92 yards total. But then Quentin Isabel on the ground, almost doubling that by himself, 174.
So we've got Quentin Isabel, who's played well. And, of course, Fred was out there earlier, so when you add them all, we're over 200 yards on the ground?
Very clearly over 200. And with Isabel, as I mentioned, 174. Hunter with 87. Shearholes with 25. And Jones with 23.
So it's been the running game today for the Hornets, not the passing game that has come up big, and that's something you want to see, that incredible balance of both. We haven't seen the balance today, but the balance for the season has been good. Deep kick, big leg, all the way, deep, out of the end zone, up on the right side, hit right there and knocked down, and we'll see when you dance away. I was looking for a possible taunting.
That was Xander Chisholm putting the hammer down on the Bakersfield kick returner.
So 1st and 10 for Bakersfield with 8 minutes to go. 37-0 here in this game. And except for a couple interceptions, which are small blemishes, the Hornets have played a solid game. Carson Woods back in. Woods looks over here, goes on the flat side. Gonna out of the bounds. Gain of about 4 on the play. They're gonna mark him up close to the 20. So close to the 20. They give him 5 on the play. Surprising on that one. So big 2nd down and 5. DeJohn Shanks comes in near side of the field. Woods looks things over. Big second down. Hand it off. Side steps. Tries to get in there. Can't move it up. Defense go. And we need to see who's in there defensively now for the Hornets because we could be at 2s and 3s. Brings up a 3rd down and 1. With 7 minutes to go. Ryan Simmons is now in the game for Bakersfield. Simmons on a stop-and-go pattern. Going down. Simmons gets knocked down. Pass interference against the Hornets. I don't know. You're going to say tripped?
Yeah, that was Jameer Cartagena on the coverage, and Corey says tripped. It could have been, but there was also a little bit of tugging on the shoulder pad from Cartagena as well.
Either way, it would be pass interference.
Yes, it would be.
So we're going to give a 1st down to the Renegades. With 6:44 to go. Renegades not wanting to get shut out. Bakersfield looking to do something.
And right there on the call, it's a little different, right, from professional and college football where the foul on the pass interference, is it 10 yards, or is it from the spot of the play? I know there's a difference between the two.
In pro, it's spot of the foul.
Gotcha. So college, what would it be?
It's 15 yards.
Cool.
Woods goes back. Has time to throw. It's a foot race down the field. Nice coverage as you're trying to get the ball all the way down to Dylan Johnson. Dylan Johnson has not seen much today for the Renegades.
No, Jameer Cartagena, once again we call his name, he's done outstanding against Dylan Johnson here in this second half, minus that pass interference call we saw just a play ago.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 at the 40. Carson Woods not having a real successful day throwing the football. Throws it out here quickly, tries to throw it out in the flat, and doesn't even get close to Ryan Simmons, who reaches out to grab the ball, and it's just behind him.
That was full extension, left arm, one hand, and he almost brought it in too.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Renegades. 6:30 to go in the 4th quarter. It's been the Hornets today, pulling away, not slowly, but getting in one of the cars we saw at Cruising today. Woods looks, flips it up in the air, incomplete pass. And it's going to bring up a 4th down. Let's see if they kick it away.
That was off the hands of Dylan Fowler. It looked like maybe he was concentrating too much on trying to catch the ball. You don't really say that often.
Woods was looking for Ben Spears there on the throw.
So it's a 4th down and 10, and they're going to punt it away. So 4th down. No real rush. Hornets just said we'll signal for a fair catch. Caught right there at the 25. With 6:16 to go in the game, well, if you're a Hornet fan, you're elated because you're staying at the top of the conference. You're undefeated. Golden West College won today. Saddleback College was winning today. So all the teams that are still in the mix. I don't know if Cerritos won or they're playing later. Oh, okay. No, but we call Saddleback because Ryan's there. Yeah. So that puts them even, but we had Saddleback here, so that's why I mentioned him. And Ryan Osborne's down at Saddleback College with friends of Corey Nalins and myself. Oh, you gonna get on here and tell me who won or lost? Mr. Nayland's coming on the air and tell. Yes, sir.
We'll just clear a couple. So Saddleback and the Southern, they're still in the running.
They've only lost one.
Because they've only lost one. Riverside was all over Southwestern in the first half.
And they were undefeated.
And Southwestern, was undefeated. So they may, if they come back, they can remain undefeated in conference and overall. Riverside, with already 2 losses,
needed the win.
They have to win out. And they have to hope Southwestern falters. They have to hope Saddleback falters so they can get back into it. And I think there was one other team in the Southern Division who is ahead of that. So Riverside and Southwestern. Riverside, they're going to win 59-35 in the third quarter. So now Saddleback and Southwestern are the keys.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you before I get off the air, Corin Reinders? Reinders. Okay, that's why I wanted to ask. So Reinders in at quarterback as they end up finally throwing it out here into Jamari Jones. So Jamari Jones catches that. And Reinders at quarterback. Jones catches the first ball thrown towards him.
And that was Xander Polito from Bakersfield on the tackle.
5:52. Second down and 9. Tyson Lewis now on the far side of the field for the Hornets. Jared Harris Kaysen on the near side of the field. Straight dive play up the middle, all the way to the 35. Nice little carry right there, made possible by Mike Taffy.
And that was Miles Poole for the Renegades, dragging him down.
So Taffy now in at running back. Reinders at quarterback. Third down and 1 for the Hornets, right at the 36. Reinders looks over. Garrett Campbell gives him the sign. And realize when we look at this prolific offense, that is the offensive coordinator. There's one way to stop somebody. I'll tell you what, I'll just fall down. With 4:44 to go, it brings up 4th down for the Hornets. So they had the opportunity to get there, but guys, they messed it up.
That was Mike Taff on the carry, and I couldn't exactly tell
Is
if
it Taff?
I believe so. And it looked like he tried to make a cut, and I couldn't tell if he stepped on the back of somebody or just slipped on the turf.
Low hike. Ball is off, end over end. It's going to hit at the 40, bounces to the 30, juggles its way to the 25, slowly falls asleep at the 24-yard line here on Hornet Radio.
And Mr. Pavlovich, I have a question for you. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. So the scoreboard right now is showing 37-0. I know it's definitely thought of, can we keep a 0? In soccer, shutouts happen often. In football, not as much. Do you think in any way Fullerton's going to want to keep that shutout and do anything possible to keep a shutout mentally?
No, because if you're Brian Crooks at this stage, you're going to bring in maybe your 3s, maybe your 4s. You hope they play well, but you want them to get experience. And if a score happens, you're not going to keep your 1s and 2s out there all the time, especially at this stage of the game. So dive play, so you guys need to check that defense and see who's on the field now for your Fullerton College Hornets, and let me know. So,
in the secondary, we have
2nd down and 6. Ben Spears out to the far left, going over into Ben's way. Wasn't Ben. They ended up dropping that off to Ryan Simmons, who just came in the game for Bakersfield. So Simmons comes in. We'll try and see if we can get that defense for you in a second here on Hornet Radio before we go off the air. 3rd down and 1 for the Renegades. All the way up to the 33. Run the dive plays off the left side. That's going to move the chains. It'll be a first down for the Renegades. So as we look at that Hornet defense, see who's out there right now. First down and 10 at the 38-yard line for the Renegades. Roll out, looking to go deep, throwing it deep on the sideline, pushing and shoving. No call. I love the no call to Jack Kasinger, or Kasinger. Kasinger.
And on the field for the Hornets, we have Drew Nagler, Diallo Saliu, Nathan Lewis, Hayden Duran, Kawan Harden, Daniel Jimenez, Tristan Duarte, Zay Delsey, and Daniel Ortiz as well.
So it's first down, and I have no idea how it's first down. There it is. Okay. Happy Halloween. Little juggle right there. Nice little run off the left side. That was just Daniel Nettles.
And that was Nathan Lewis with the trip up.
We're at 2 minutes. And that should bring us to 2-minute stoppage here on Hornet Radio. The Hornets looking like they're walking away with a victory today, unless miracles can happen, which we don't think they will, here on Hornet Radio. So, guys, when you look at the outcome of this game, it's been a bag of mixture that has created this victory today for the Hornets. And, Joseph, I'll start with you. When you look at the mixture, special teams, defense, and offense, which group would you take and say, this is the group that really played the better on the field today?
I definitely think I would start with the defense. Both sides of the ball played great, amazing. I would like to highlight the defense. I think a crazy great performance today from Ethan Charpentier. He had 12 total tackles. Second most tackles on the team is Mohamed Hassoune and a couple others, but double the tackles of the next person. That is a great performance. Ethan Charpentier having a great season.
Averages over 10 tackles a game anyway, so he's just 2 over his average when you look at it. The Renegades come on out. Woods at quarterback. Woods, little fake, tries to get her over the middle. Once again, defense, and you see the Renegades now trying to get a flag by somebody and just don't, as Harden, the defensive back, makes a good defensive play. Is there a flag?
The flag
there
does
is.
fall over at the top by the tip of the Hornets wing.
Talk about a late flag. And it was such a late flag that you sit there and go, come on, guys. Exactly. Everybody up in the booth here is saying, keep the clock running. 1:56 to go, and I'm not getting any younger. Rao goes out to the far side of the field. Woods as quarterback. First down and 10 for the Renegades. Hand it again. Off the right side. Stay in bounds. Stay in bounds. Take him down. It's going to bring up a gain of 8 on the play. Clock should keep running. We'll see if it does. That was Nettles one more time.
And that was Drew Nagler and Nathan Lewis in on the tackle.
Minute 35 to go. The Hornets walking away with a victory here on Hornet Radio today. Moving things on as we look at it. Big second down. See if the defense can come up, make that stop. Minute 20 to go. Minute 18. Clock is moving. Off the left side. One more time. Nettles stays there. First and 10. Keep that clock moving. 50 seconds. I've been deserted. First down and 10 for the Renegades. Going to the outside. Stay in bounds. Don't run out of bounds.
Running out of bounds, the ball carrier to Daniel Nettles, stopping the clock at 26 seconds.
We can go to one camera right now. Second down and 1. Ball thrown down to the corner, almost picked up. 14.4. So the Hornets 37, the Renegades 0 here on Hornet Radio. Make sure you watch all the games coming up. Check the homepage here on Hornet Radio and your Fullerton College sports page to see what's right around the corner. Go to the homepage here at Fullerton College and find out all the special events that are coming up here, like we did have with the car show today. Dancing out, trying to get the outside. Run that clock. So, with 9 seconds to go, your Fullerton College Hornets are going to end up winning this game 37-0 as they come away with a victory today over the Renegades of Bakersfield.